Good evening. Good evening. My name is Ginger Spencer, and I'm a Deputy City Manager with the City of Phoenix. And I'm here this evening with Councilman Galindo Elvira, Councilman Carlos Galindo Elvira. And also, we have Amber Williamson, who is our Director of our Budget and Research Department. So welcome to today's budget hearing for the proposed fiscal year 2025-2026 city trial budget. Before we begin, I'd like to also introduce our interpreters for this evening. Tonight we have Mario Barajas, Elsie Duarte, Caprice Moreno, and Mario, will you please come up to the mic?
Thank you, Ginger. Good afternoon. My name is Mario Barajas, as Ginger already mentioned. I'm going to be working with my colleagues Elsie Duarte and Caprice Moreno. I'm going to now take a moment to introduce ourselves to our Spanish-speaking audience. Muy buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Mario Barajas y voy a estar sirviendo como intérprete junto con mis colegas Elsie Duarte y Caprice Moreno. Solamente queremos informarles de que si acaso van a necesitar el servicio de interpretación, están disponibles los auriculares para que puedan escuchar la interpretación del inglés hacia el español. Además, si es que van a estar dando un comentario público aquí en el micrófono, no necesitan hacer pausa, pueden usar sus 2 minutos completos sin usar o hacer pausas. Y después de ello, mi colega, él sí va a estar interpretando lo que usted esté diciendo en su totalidad sin que ustedes tengan que hacer pausas. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Ginger.
All right. Thank you, Mario. So I'd like to also thank all of the city staff who are here with us this evening and all of the residents who've come out tonight. So it is my pleasure to introduce our councilman for Council District 7, Councilman Carlos Galindo Elvira. Councilman?
Thank you so much, Ginger. Good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes a todos y a todas. I'm so glad that you're here to participate in this budget hearing. Your opinions, your concerns are vital and appreciated and needed. I want to make sure that all of you feel comfortable in expressing yourselves and sharing with us your thoughts, your ideas about the proposed budget. We need to hear what you have to say in order to ensure that we have the best budget possible to meet the needs of our residents, to ensure that we are providing the best quality services that we have promised as a city to you. I want to say that while this is my last budget hearing here in District 7, I am appreciative for the kind support I have received, and your feedback that you provided last year helped to shape my issues that I worked on the City Council. So while I will not be representing you after April 21st on the council, I will make sure that what you have said is shared with the incoming councilwoman, Ana Hernandez, so that she and her staff have an opportunity to review and to respond on what you have told us this evening. Gracias por estar aquí.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. And just want to let you know it's been a pleasure having you on City Council and being able to work with you, and congratulations on all the accomplishments that you've achieved during your time in District 7. All righty. So the feedback we received today is important as we finalize the proposed trial budget to present to City Council. We want your input to be heard and considered before the budget is approved. The proposed budget will be presented to the City Council on May 6th and voted on May 21st. Information on the proposed budget is available in the tabloid at the main table and is available in English and Spanish. Please visit our website also if you'd like for more information at phoenix.gov/budget. If you wish to speak at today's hearing on the proposed budget, please fill out a comment card. And if you wish to leave a comment but not speak, please, you can fill out a comment card and select no to speak. So we do have cards at this time, so if anyone hasn't had a chance to fill out a card, please make sure that we receive them. So we're going to go ahead and show our video. We're going to show it in English first, and then we'll switch out the videos and then show the video in Spanish. Thank you.
The City of Phoenix thrives because of the services we all rely on, from keeping our neighborhoods safe to offering enriching programs and maintaining vital infrastructure. And like any well-run household, planning for the future starts with the budget. Right now, the City of Phoenix is developing its budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026, a roadmap of how we'll allocate resources to best serve our community. This isn't a process that happens overnight. Throughout the year, city departments work hard to estimate the costs of maintaining the services we currently enjoy. Then in March, the city manager proposes a preliminary budget, a trial budget, that carefully balances estimated resources with projected expenses. This important document is now ready for everyone to look at. Your voice matters. In April, the city actively seeks your input through community budget hearings, by phone, email, and even on social media. This feedback is crucial to ensuring the budget reflects the priorities of our residents and the City Council. Then in May, the City Council will carefully consider all this input before voting on the budget, with legal adoption scheduled in June. Finally, the property tax levy ordinance will be adopted in early July. To understand the budget, it's helpful to know how it's structured. Think of it as three main accounts. The general fund is like our main checking account. It supports many of the core services you see every day: our libraries, parks, senior and youth programs, and critical police and fire services. This fund is made up of revenue from things like general sales tax, property taxes, and a portion of state income, sales, and vehicle taxes, as well as some fines and fees. Then there are enterprise funds. These operate more like businesses, charging those who directly use their services. This includes departments like Water Services, Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, and Solid Waste. Finally, special revenue funds are like accounts with specific instructions. These funds are earmarked for particular purposes, often coming from grants or voter-approved sales taxes dedicated to things like parks and preserves, transportation, and public safety. Now let's talk about the current budget situation. Like many cities, Phoenix is facing some financial headwinds. Over the next few years, we're looking at potential structural deficits, primarily due to actions taken at the state level and rising costs. Recently, the state eliminated the ability for cities to collect residential rental sales tax, and they also lowered the individual income tax rate. These changes mean less ongoing revenue coming into the city. But this is where careful planning and proactive measures come in. Our city staff and leadership have been working diligently to find solutions to ensure we maintain a balanced budget as required by state law, and to ensure the city can continue to deliver to residents existing services without cutting programs or filled jobs to balance the budget. To make sure the budget can stay balanced, offset the losses from state actions to reduce our revenues, provide the necessary resources to protect current programs, and provide the funds necessary for critical adds to the budget, several strategies are included in this trial budget. The City Council voted on March 18th to increase the transaction privilege tax rate from 2.3% to 2.8% effective July 1st, 2025. This will generate revenue to pay for programs and services. Reprioritize the current general fund budget to reduce expenditures without impacting service delivery or filled jobs, and provide capacity to add higher priority items. Set aside projected resources to help balance future budgets and protect against any economic slowdown or further impacts from the state to limit local control and further reduce our revenues. Use excise tax proceeds to finance large public safety capital and infrastructure projects, including 2 new fire stations and additional apparatus. Now let's talk about what this budget means for some key services. For the Phoenix Fire Department, there's a proposal for additional funding to reduce emergency response times. This includes hiring more firefighters to staff existing and new fire stations and new apparatus. Addressing homelessness remains a critical priority. The proposed budget includes revised estimates of $4.5 million in general fund resources for the Office of Homeless Solutions in 2025-26. This funding is needed because some of the federal pandemic-era funding is ending. This money will help continue shelter operations at places like Rio Fresco, the Phoenix Navigation Center, and the Washington Shelter, as well as support heat relief efforts for our unsheltered neighbors. Looking ahead, the budget also proposes a $5.6 million addition to the non-general fund budget for the Water Services Department. This would fund the reopening of the Cave Creek Water Reclamation Plant, allowing the city to expand its capacity for wastewater treatment and water purification, ensuring we can meet future needs. These are thoughtful strategies aimed at addressing the financial challenges while protecting the vital services that make Phoenix a great place to live, work, and visit. Our city employees, from our dedicated first responders to the professionals managing our parks and libraries, are deeply committed to serving this community and always have your best interests at heart. They work hard every day to ensure Phoenix remains a vibrant and thriving city. We understand that discussing budget figures can sometimes feel overwhelming. But know that the City of Phoenix has a long history of responsible budgeting. By engaging in this process together, with your input and the careful work of city professionals, we are confident that we will continue to deliver the essential services you expect and deserve, building a stronger Phoenix for tomorrow. La Municipalidad de Phoenix prospera gracias a los servicios de los que todos dependemos, desde mantener nuestros vecindarios seguros hasta ofrecer programas enriquecedores y mantener la infraestructura vital. Y como en cualquier hogar bien administrado, la planificación del futuro comienza con el presupuesto. En este momento, la Municipalidad de Phoenix está desarrollando su presupuesto para el año fiscal 2025-2026, una hoja de ruta de cómo asignaremos recursos para servir mejor a nuestra comunidad. Este proceso no sucede de un día para otro. Durante el año, los departamentos de la ciudad trabajan arduamente para calcular los costos de mantener los servicios que disfrutamos actualmente. Luego, en marzo, el administrador municipal propone un presupuesto preliminar, el presupuesto sugerido, que equilibra cuidadosamente los recursos calculados y los gastos proyectados. Este documento importante ya está listo para que todos los revisen. Su voz es importante. En abril, la ciudad busca su opinión mediante audiencias comunitarias, por teléfono, correo electrónico e incluso en las redes sociales. Los comentarios son fundamentales para asegurarse de que el presupuesto refleje las prioridades de nuestros residentes y el Consejo Municipal. Luego, en mayo, el Consejo Municipal considera todos esos comentarios antes de votar sobre el presupuesto con la adopción legal programada en junio. Finalmente, la ordenanza que establece el impuesto sobre bienes inmuebles se adoptará a principios de julio. Para comprender el presupuesto, es útil conocer su estructura. Piense en él como 3 cuentas principales. El Fondo General es como nuestra cuenta de cheques principal. Apoya muchos de los servicios básicos que usted ve todos los días. Nuestras bibliotecas, parques, programas para jóvenes y personas mayores y servicios fundamentales de policía y bomberos. Este fondo está compuesto por ingresos de cosas como el impuesto general a las ventas, impuestos a la propiedad y una parte de los impuestos estatales a la renta, a las ventas y a los vehículos, además de algunas multas y tarifas. Luego están los fondos de las empresas. Estos operan más como comercios, cobrando a quienes usan directamente sus servicios. Esto incluye a departamentos como servicios de agua, el Aeropuerto Internacional Phoenix Sky Harbor y residuos sólidos. Finalmente, los fondos de ingresos especiales son como cuentas con instrucciones específicas. Estos fondos están destinados para fines específicos y a menudo provienen de subvenciones o de impuestos sobre las ventas aprobadas por los votantes destinados a cosas como parques y reservas, transporte y seguridad pública. Ahora, hablemos sobre la situación presupuestal actual. Como muchas ciudades, Phoenix se enfrenta a vientos financieros en contra. En los próximos años nos encontraremos con posibles déficits estructurales, principalmente debido a las medidas tomadas a nivel estatal y el aumento de costos. Específicamente, el Estado eliminó la posibilidad de que las ciudades recauden impuestos sobre las ventas de alquiler residencial a partir de enero del 2025 y también ha reducido la tasa del impuesto sobre la renta individual. Estos cambios significan que hay menos ingresos continuos para la ciudad, pero aquí es donde entra la planificación cuidadosa y las medidas proactivas. Nuestro personal y liderazgo de la ciudad han estado trabajando para encontrar soluciones para garantizar que mantengamos un presupuesto equilibrado, como lo exige la ley estatal, y para garantizar que la ciudad pueda seguir proporcionando a los residentes los servicios existentes sin recortar programas o puestos de empleados de la ciudad para equilibrar el presupuesto. Para garantizar que el presupuesto pueda mantenerse equilibrado, compensar las pérdidas por las acciones estatales para reducir nuestros ingresos, proporcionar los recursos necesarios para proteger los programas actuales y proporcionar los fondos necesarios para adiciones fundamentales al presupuesto, se incluyen varias estrategias en este presupuesto sugerido. El Consejo Municipal votó el 18 de marzo para aumentar la tasa del impuesto de privilegio de transacción del 2.3% al 2.8% a partir del 1 de julio del 2025. Esto generará ingresos para pagar programas y servicios. Reordenar las prioridades del presupuesto actual del Fondo General para reducir los gastos sin afectar la prestación de servicios ni los puestos cubiertos y brindar capacidad para agregar elementos de mayor prioridad. Reservar recursos proyectados para ayudar a balancear los presupuestos futuros y protegernos contra cualquier desaceleración económica o impactos adicionales del Estado para limitar el control local y reducir aún más nuestros ingresos. Utilizar los ingresos del impuesto especial para financiar grandes proyectos de capital e infraestructura de seguridad pública, incluidas 2 nuevas estaciones de bomberos y equipos adicionales. Ahora, hablemos sobre lo que este presupuesto significa para algunos servicios clave. Para el Departamento de Bomberos de Phoenix, hay una propuesta de financiamiento adicional para reducir los tiempos de respuesta a emergencias. Esto incluye la contratación de más bomberos para el personal en las estaciones existentes y nuevas y también para operar aparatos nuevos. La falta de vivienda sigue siendo una prioridad crítica. El presupuesto propuesto incluye cálculos revisados de $4.5 millones en recursos del Fondo General para la Oficina de Soluciones para Personas sin Hogar en el 2025-2026. Este financiamiento es necesario porque algunos fondos federales de la época de la pandemia están terminando. Este dinero ayudará a continuar las operaciones de refugio en lugares como Río Fresco, el Phoenix Navigation Center y el Refugio Washington, así como también apoyará a los esfuerzos de alivio del calor para nuestros vecinos sin refugio. Viendo hacia adelante, el presupuesto también propone una adición de $5.6 millones al presupuesto del Fondo No General para el Departamento de Servicios de Agua. Esto financiaría reabrir la planta de recuperación de agua Cave Creek, lo que permitirá que la ciudad amplíe su capacidad de tratamiento de aguas residuales y purificación de agua, garantizando que podamos satisfacer las necesidades futuras. Estas son estrategias que podrían ayudar a los desafíos financieros mientras se protegen los servicios vitales que hacen de Phoenix un gran lugar para vivir, trabajar y visitar. Nuestros empleados municipales, desde nuestros socorristas dedicados hasta los profesionales que administran nuestros parques y bibliotecas, están comprometidos a servir a esta comunidad y siempre toman en cuenta sus mejores intereses. Trabajan todos los días para garantizar que Phoenix siga siendo una ciudad vibrante y próspera. Entendemos que hablar de las cifras del presupuesto algunas veces puede ser agotante. Pero sepa que la Municipalidad de Phoenix tiene una larga historia de creación de presupuestos responsables. Al participar en este proceso juntos, con sus comentarios y el trabajo cuidadoso de los profesionales de la ciudad, estamos seguros de que seguiremos brindando los servicios esenciales que usted espera y merece, construyendo un Phoenix más fuerte para el mañana.
We've received some of the comment cards. If you would like to speak, please visit our welcome desk and fill out a card. We'd love to hear your feedback. I'm so happy to be joined by Councilwoman-elect Ana Hernandez. I'm so glad you could be here this evening to join us, to hear what our constituents have to say, because at the end of the day, it's going to become your budget vote, and I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to hear directly from the people that we are proud to serve. Thank you. So we're going to start with, a couple of rules. You have 2 minutes to speak, and we kindly ask that you keep to that time limit because we want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to speak. I, too, want to thank all of our staff who are here today representing the city of Phoenix. I have always said that we may be the 5th largest city in the United States, but we have first-rate staff. So thank you all for being here this evening. In particular, I want to thank the District 7 Chief of Staff, Leila Gamis. Please stand, Leila. And also Grant Harrison, who does our constituent services. Grant, wave to everybody. He's back there. Without the constant work of our staff, we could not be successful. And while as council members, we sit on the dais and we get to do the votes and we get to cut the ribbons, we can't do it without our staff who behind the scenes are just getting stuff done on behalf of all of our residents throughout the city of Phoenix. So we're going to go ahead and start with Tim Gamage. Tim?
Just a button. Sweet. Good evening, Tim Gamage, Executive Vice President of Local 493, the Firefighters Union here in Phoenix. And I lived at 7148 West Wilshire from 92 to 95 and went to the summer program here at this park. So it's good to be back home tonight. I'm coming to you tonight to talk to you about response times for the City of Phoenix Fire Department. They're approaching right around 9 minutes right now. I'd like to thank Councilman Galindo for voting yes to increase the sales tax in order to put more units in service. This is going to have a tremendous impact on your community as well as the rest of the city, but more is still needed, specifically with ambulances. The first assignment I had on the fire department was at the fire station on 71st and McDowell on an ambulance, and one of the worst things that can happen when you're on a call is to be waiting to take somebody to the hospital. You're there, you've done everything good, and you're dependent upon a doctor to save this person. And the only way you can do that is getting them in an ambo to get them in the hospital so they can fix their problem. We still have across the city every day patients waiting in their homes, waiting for ambos when they're having the worst day of their life. So if we can do more as soon as we can, Councilwoman Hernandez, that would be great. Your constituents, I'm sure, would appreciate it, and so would we as firefighters, because it's a terrible feeling to not be able to help.
Thank you, Tim. Next, we have Patrick McDaniel.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Patrick McDaniel. I'm speaking in my role as Advocacy Director for Phoenix Community Alliance. We're a downtown business organization that focuses really on the core of downtown Phoenix. Here today in support of the budget. As an organization, we did support the TPT increases. We understand that the city was handed a certain set of circumstances by the state that were out of their control, so we know that those were necessary. In the current budget, just like the previous speaker, we applaud the efforts to reduce fire department response times. We know that those will bring increased safety to all of the city. As an organization that deals with a lot of downtown issues, we support the increases to the Office of Homeless Services. What that office has done in a very short amount of time is absolutely unbelievable. It's incredible. So we appreciate that, and I know our downtown residents do as well. We know that the budget of the city of Phoenix is huge, and the Office of Arts and Culture is facing potential decreases of around $175,000. For a city that this large, amount like that may not seem that much, but for organizations where these cuts would primarily go towards maintenance and upkeep, that seems like something that may be something that could be avoided, something that we would hope respectfully ask be reconsidered in this current budget. So once again, as an organization, we appreciate all the work that has gone into this. Councilman, we appreciate being able to meet with you on occasion in your office, and we hope to continue that tradition with the incoming councilwoman. So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Patrick. Next, we have Beatriz Rojas Perez.
Good evening. My name is Beatriz. I'm a member of Chispa, Arizona, and I'm also a Phoenix Union Bioscience High School District. I'm here today as a student and someone who experiences extreme heat from Phoenix every single day. I want to thank you for prioritizing environmental investments that will make our city cleaner, greener, and more just. The 2025 Capital Improvement Program is a big opportunity to invest in neighborhoods in the south and west of Phoenix. We have been overlooked and underrepresented for too long. I'm asking you to invest in cooling our streets and making them safer for students like me. Around school, it's hard to move around, such as go to the library, go home, or get a drink without walking blocks under the sun. There's no shade around us, and it is hard to walk to public transit, and trying to run errands feels like a health risk. When it's 110 degrees, it's not just uncomfortable, but also a health risk to students and those around us. We need more trees, shaded walkways, and safer streets. I support the funding to Cool Corridors program and expanding the city's effort to planting more trees because they would give students a real relief and protection from the heat. Shade is not a luxury, it's about safety, especially in communities like mine. I urge the City Council to ensure that these investments are made in the west and south side of Phoenix. Thank you for listening and helping students.
Thank you, Beatriz. Next comment card, the person did not want to speak, but asked that we address fire crisis resources. Thank you, Uja Marshall, for your comment. Next, we have Luis Avila.
Buenas tardes, Councilman Galindo Elvira. First of all, thank you for your service and supporting with leadership in the transition period. And welcome to Councilwoman-elect Hernandez as well. I want to first thank the city staff as well. We've been working with several departments in very effective ways, and I want to just give a shout out to them because they've been really helpful. My name is Luis Avila. I'm the co-founder of an organization called Rumbo. We are residents from all over the valley with the intention of ensuring that we can live and thrive here in these desert communities. By 2050, according to the Rotarian Group, the Phoenix is expected to be almost unlivable because of climate change. Heat and water are serious issues for our city, And this is a good moment for us to ask what room are we going to take, what pathway we're going to take to move forward. Desert communities can adapt and thrive, and we're already learning that by working in Maryvale community, doing one-on-ones, house meetings, and conversations on a weekly basis with different residents. They're already adapting. The heat is impacting their buckets. They are working less hours. Many of them tell us that it impacts their mental health as well, as they can be outside and they can share spaces with other people. And what they are asking is that we move faster. We know that the city of Phoenix has a tree and shade plan for the city. What we're asking is that we think about these resources as medicine, that they go to where they're needed most. Maryvale is 4 to 6 degrees hotter at any given moment than the rest of the city. It's the hottest portion of the city, and we need to act faster in Maryvale. We're requesting that there is an additional investment for the Office of Heat Mitigation for the development of a specific plan for Maryvale that helps to mitigate heat. We're talking going beyond trees. We're talking about shade structure, pavement, transportation, and other investments that are going to be needed. We know that the city is not in a position at this moment to make huge investments, but we know that these are going to be able to happen in the next few years if we have a plan and the residents in the area know about it. Thank you for your leadership, and we look forward to collaborating with you.
Thank you, Luis. Next, we have Daphne Cortez.
Hi. So sorry. Hi, Councilman Gallindo and members of the community, and hi, Ana Hernandez. My name is Daphne, and I'm a climate organizer in Maryvale with Rumbo. First, I want to thank the City of Phoenix for its ongoing efforts with our neighborhoods and for working to keep the community in the conversation. This really matters specifically in places like Maryvale, which have historically been overlooked. And I'm here tonight to speak on something really urgent. Maryvale is the hottest area in the city, on an average 4 to 6 degrees hotter than other neighborhoods during the summer. In my previous conversations with residents, we've consistently heard the need for more heat-resilient public spaces, like shaded walkways, cooler bus stops, and safer, more walkable streets with enough shade to support walking as a form of transportation. While there have been some promising efforts, we need to see more of these investments directed specifically into Maryvale. This community has experienced a long history of underinvestment, and now is the time to act. Councilman Gallindo, as your time on the council comes to a close, I want to thank you for your service and respectfully ask for your support in helping Rumbo and the city partner to ensure there is a dedicated funding for a planning effort focused on reducing extreme heat in Maryvale. We envision this as a collaboration between the city's Office of Heat Response and Mitigation and Rumbo leaders working together to bring change. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Daphne, for your comments. Before we move on, I do want to point out that while I was on the council, heat mitigation was one of my #1 issues to address. And we recently did pass a heat plan that includes a respite center for the unhoused, cooling stations at libraries, as well as making sure that we have chilled water stations here in the west part of the district in Maryvale. And early on, while I was a councilman, we did plant trees here at Desert West. So I understand the need for more shaded areas and tree canopies in Maryvale. And I can't speak for the councilwoman, but I'm sure she'll have an interest in this issue. She is one of the big champions for the environment. So I'm hoping that what you have said tonight will also be something that the councilwoman will share as a person who lives in Maryvale and is a fighter for Maryvale. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Councilmember Galindo. And thank you for those comments. A big part of the reason why I champion environmental and climate solutions in the intersection of housing as well is because I'm not sure if everybody is aware, I'm sure you're aware, of the life expectancy difference between Maryvale and North Phoenix, right? People in Maryvale live 14 years less than people miles up the road in North Phoenix because of investments that haven't been made into our community. So I take your comments to heart, and you have my commitment to continue to working on this issue.
Thank you. Raul Moreno is next to speak.
Good evening. My name is Raul, and I'm a senior at Phoenix Union Bioscience High School. I'm also a member of Chispa. I'm here today as a student and as someone who depends on public transportation every day to get to school. I want to start by thanking you for prioritizing environmental investments in our city. The 2025-2030 Capital Improvement Program is a huge opportunity to help communities like South and West Phoenix, where improvements have been overdue. Every school day, I walk to my bus stop in the heat, and it's not just hot, it's overwhelming. The metal bus stop feels like it's radiating even more heat back at you, and there's no real shade. I've stood there, sweating before class, already feeling lightheaded and uncomfortable, and I have still get through a full school day after that. That's why I support the $10 million investment in electric buses, but it's not just about the buses themselves, it's about where they're placed and how safe it is to wait for them. We need shaded, comfortable stops. We need relief from the heat. Transit should help students not make our mornings harder. Expanding electric transits in our areas like mine would mean cleaner air, cooler routes, and safer communities. This is about making Phoenix more livable for students like me who just want to get to school without risking our health. Thank you for listening and for investing in our future.
Thank you, Raul. Next, we have, and I apologize if I say your last name incorrectly, and feel free to correct me, Rob Naka? Nolan? There you go, sir. Thank you. Let's find out.
Thank you, Councilman Galinda and Councilwoman-elect Hernandez. I'll keep my comments brief. I really agree with, thank you. Go ahead and adjust that as necessary. I'm sorry, I'm so tall. So Rob Nolan, Vice President of Advocacy for the Irish Cultural Center and McClellan Library in District. So I want to start by saying thank you for your service and representation of the district. I really appreciate and look forward to working with you. And same goes with Councilwoman-elect Hernandez. Completely understand the situation that we're being put in terms of the TBD tax increase and all of the initiatives in terms of the investments into fire prevention, unhoused mitigation and resources. Those are all fantastic ideas. My one ask going forward is that if there is the opportunity to prevent cuts to the art maintenance budget, I think that's worth prioritizing in some way, and I'll tell you the reason why. So my reasoning is that we have a very significant arts and culture infrastructure in the city. We have an arts and culture economy in this city, and I do worry that if we pull back the resources from our organizations and individuals that enrich our communities, that then we may not have those same resources in the future. But I understand this is a tough situation and that there's no perfect solutions, of course. But again, I appreciate your service, and thank you.
Thank you, Rob, for your comments. I do want to say that while on the council, I did get to visit the Irish Cultural Center, and I very much appreciated the exhibit on the special Irish-Mexican relationship. It's a very unique one that not a lot of people know about, but one that's definitely worth reading about. Excellent. That concludes all of the public comments. I want to make sure to say thank you for participating, and a special thanks to Councilwoman-elect Ana Hernandez for joining me. I will make sure she gets these cards so that she and her staff are able to work on these issues. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You bet. My pleasure.
So again, thank you to everyone for attending tonight. Thank you for your comments, and thank you, Councilman Galindo Elvira, and thank you, Councilwoman-elect Ana Hernandez. And with that, have a great evening. Bye-bye.